as we talked earlier, there's a couple different ways to get to the sphenoid. Obviously, in this cadaver, we've gone through the ethmoid sinuses, we've gone transethmoid, and we can get into the sphenoid here. Typically, if you're doing a pituitary, those ethmoids won't be open, and while you can do it, it's also pretty easy to go transnasal. So if I'm working medial to the middle turbinate and identifying my sphenoid. Now, you saw earlier in Dr. O'Brien's talk the anatomy of the posterior septal branch of the sphenopalatine artery, which just exists right here on this sphenoid face. So that's the pedicle for our flap. So what you want to do is make a cut superiorly and inferiorly to make that horizontal portion. And then depending on how big your defect is going to be, you can carry this inferior portion down onto the nasal septum, you can carry it onto the nasal floor, you can carry it onto the inferior turbinate. You can really make it wide and then connect it anteriorly and then make a superior cut. Now you don't want to get up too high here because you don't want to disturb any of your olfactory phyla. Usually I would make this cut with a needle tip bovie, so you have to be aware of the heat from that. And then at that point, once you've made those cuts, it really is just a septoplasty. Now, admittedly, I made a cut here earlier, sort of in the interest of time, and I did make it a little bit smaller than I would because Dr. Woodworth is going to be showing some a drill out procedure and wanted to use some of the mucosa up here. So I made my superior cut here, my inferior cut here, carry it onto the nasal septum, and then it's a septoplasty. And you just raise it up, and you can see where some of the cut almost went through, but not quite. Do we have any scissors? Or a through cutter? Okay, great. Okay, I'll take that coddle back. Right there. There we go. Oops. Okay. And then you're swinging that along the face of your sphenoid. Can I get that 15 blade back, please? Thank you. And again, normally I would make this cut with a needle tip bovie. Here, we'll go ahead and make it with a 15 blade and make sure we're all the way through. This is a really nice flap that can be used for skull-base reconstructions, for pituitaries, a lot of different utilizations of this. And I'll take that scissors back, please. Thank you. There we go. So as we rotate that over, again, you want to make sure you get your inferior cut as well. And then as you're doing the case, thank you, you can tuck it in the nasopharynx for use later. It's safe there. I do always tell the neurosurgeon that I'm working with that, hey, it's there. Please don't rip it out if you're so inclined. So at this point, we want to get good access to the sella and the image guidance section. And could we put the image guidance view up? The coronal would work. Sagittal would be fine as well too. So we're in the sphenoid here. We saw earlier a optic nerve decompression. This is your carotid artery. This is your opticocarotid recess. So right here, that's your sella. So we need to get good access to that. And while we might have good access to that through here, remember, this is going to be 2 surgeons and it's going to be 4 hands. You're going to need to get access for both somebody else and through the other side. So at this point, what we would do is lower that face of the sphenoid. And you can do this a lot of different ways. You can do it with a drill. You can do it with a kerosene. If you're doing it with a drill, just be aware of where your flap is and make sure it's down and out of your way. Now, once you've got better access for that, suction. Why a drill? What's that? I'm sorry. So I'll usually I'll usually use a diamond because it's actually the way we open up the sella, and I can still be pretty efficient with it. A cutter would be fine here, but honestly, I think to myself, well, if I don't have to open another drill bit, maybe I just won't do that. I don't know why I care. I'm saving the world, the healthcare world. At this point, you want to gain access to the contralateral side. And so you're going to need to do a posterior septectomy. Now, the extent to which you're going to go through this posterior septum depends on how much room do you have, what's your experience with it, what's your working relationship with this neurosurgeon. I find that when doing these, the neurosurgeons always want more. I always want a little bit less. And I argue that, well, they don't have to see their nose post-op, and we do. So at this point, we're going to try and drill this down. Now, one of the things you notice here, this does suction, but some of the drills don't. They don't provide, some of the more skull-based burr drills don't. So actually what I do is I take a flexible suction and put it in the contralateral nasal cavity, just in the nasopharynx, and just leave it there. And it actually really gets all this smoke and bone dust and debris out of the way so that you can kind of keep moving efficiently. Even with the ones that do have suction, having that extra layer of just removal can be quite helpful. So now you can see we're in the contralateral side. And what we're doing now, again, this is all just an access issue. And we're removing this sphenoid septum, trying to gain access to that sella. And we'll drill as much as we can here. And you want to smooth out any of these rough, bony edges. They have a tendency to crust a lot. And you also want to make sure, again, that you're giving your neurosurgeon and you plenty of space to work. Can I get that suction back, please? Thank you. Okay. I think we might be clogged. Oh, there we go. That's all it took. I was looking at it funny. All right, so clean out that nasopharynx. So again, here we've got our sphenoid sinus. This is our right sphenoid, our left sphenoid, our sphenoid septum, optic nerve, carotid artery, opticocarotid recess, sella. So it's at this point where it's a little bit of, who's going to do this part? Obviously, you have mucosa overlying this area. We usually try and burn that with a bipolar. We talked about bipolars some. Could I see a straight through cutter, please? I like a bipolar called the Aquamantis. It's actually a spine bipolar, and it's got a rounded tip on the end. And so you don't necessarily have to grasp something in between it. It almost has a suction bovie look at the end of it, but it is a bipolar. And so I'll bipole a lot of that mucosa just to prevent bleeding. I'll take that drill, please. And then at this point, we can go ahead and remove the bone overlying the sella. Now, this is where a diamond burr is very helpful. A cutter is going to be a little bit aggressive right here. A lot of times my neurosurgeon will be doing this. If he's not there yet, I will tend to start opening it up. I'll take the suction. Thank you. And once you get a little window into there, well, then you can start opening it up further with things like, could I get a kerosene, please? Oh, great. Thanks. And you can see how thin this bone truly is. There's not much there. So we've got the dura overlying the pituitary sitting out in front of us. And the extent of dissection that you want to do here really depends on what's your tumor size, where you're trying to get to. Do you need to take this really far up to the planum to get access there? Is this going down into the clival recess? It really depends on the pathology that you're dealing with. So that's your pituitary approach. And were we to take our piddly nasoseptal flap, which again, I made short sort of on purpose because we were saving it. What we do is we rotate that back into place over here in order to cover that defect should you choose to. And that's a nice option. One of the things you don't want to do, you don't want to go like do what I'm doing right now, which is pulling bone away. Brad looks concerned over there by this. Because, you know, this, look where we are. Again, to orient, optic nerve, carotid artery, we're right here. So we want to get through all this. You want to make all these moves very specific, very deliberate, using cutting instruments. You don't want to be picking stuff off or things like that. So that's the nasoseptal flap and the pituitary approaches. And then I think Brad is going to do a frontal sinus drill out. If there's any questions, happy to take them.